Hello everyone. Welcome to today's webinar brought to you by Kenanga Investment Bank. Today, our webinar title is Live Chat with Nestcon Bhd, Twin Engines for Growth. So welcome to this session. So before we proceed further, allow me to share with you about one amazing CSR project by Kenanga Investment Bank. This is Kenanga Humankind Projects titled Meals That Give. All right. So on your screen, you're seeing the poster. So what Kenanga aim to do is to raise 3,000 ringgit through this project. So we want to urge all of you here, if you want to, if you can, if you are able, you may pledge a meal at 20 ringgit. You must just scan this QR code where you take you to a landing page where you can see if you want to donate to this cause or not. So what happened is that Kenanga, for every 20 ringgit for one meal that you pledge, Kenanga will match meal for you. So this meal will be distributed to children in need. So for every meal that you pledge, at least 2% will not have to go hungry. And who will provide this meal? So this meal will be provided by Cafe Includes. So for that, it will help to sustain the employment opportunities for the disabled employees at Cafe Includes, and also provide training and development to disabled employees at Cafe Includes. All right. So the call to action is, scan this QR code at the bottom right corner where you're able to donate 20 ringgit to pledge a meal to the person in needs. All right. So just a short shout out. So, all right. So, welcome to this session, live chat with Nestcon Bhd. So, disclaimer is whatever you share in this session is only for educational purpose. So, in no way that will give any recommendation for you to buy or sell any listed companies that we mentioned here. So, should you decide to make any investment decisions, you're 100% responsible for all your investment risk. All right, so today we are very honored to have invited Dr. Lim Jee Gin, the Group Managing Director of Nestcon Bhd, to share with us their business model as well as their growth prospect. All right, so allow me to briefly introduce Nescon. So listed in ACE market in June 2021, Nestcon Bhd is a construction company that is specialized in building and infrastructure construction services. So Nescon's business journey began humbly in 2010 by securing its first infrastructure construction project to provide earthworks and infrastructure works for a state-sponsored agropolitan project before venturing into building construction in 2014. So throughout these years, Nescon has been expanding its construction capabilities as well as its construction portfolios in Malaysia. So in late last year, Nescon ventured into renewable energy division, in particular focusing on solar photovoltaic rooftop system for commercial and industrial segment, as well as exploring opportunities for building large-scale solar PV plants. So before we call upon our speaker today, Dr. Lim Jee Gin, so allow us to play a short corporate video for you. Yep, Seng, you may go ahead and share your screen.
Okay, give me a minute. Let me just try to share screen.
Nestcon Bhd, via its wholly owned subsidiaries Nestcon Infra Bhd and Nestcon Bhd Bhd, have a leading mission to consistently deliver unparalleled value to our clients and dedicated to delivering sustainable, world-class urban development solutions for civil engineering, infrastructure, and building construction works. Nestcon Infra Bhd focuses on all types of civil engineering and key infrastructure projects, while Nestcon Bhd Bhd primarily involves in securing and carrying out construction works for residential, commercial, and industrial properties. Following the impressive list of completed projects that demonstrated our strong competency, we, Nescon, envision to be the leading construction and civil engineering service provider in Malaysia. Nescon synonymous with quality and distinction in areas of his expertise, is fully committed to play a role in improving our nation's standard of living and advancing of society to a better tomorrow.
Cultivating integrity from Nescon, we are ready to take challenges. Our people resilience, our focus on details, our innovative spirits are the driving forces to better innovate and elevate our performance to attain excellence. Nescon is ready to set new standard for building, construction and infrastructure development and deliver superior project outcomes with innovative engineering solutions.
Comprising a team of dedicated and accomplished team of engineers and professional personnel with the strategic and tactical training to mobilize human and material resources to ensure optimal project outcomes is the bedrock of Nescon's success. Nescon leverages on the complementary skills of our experts to deliver a positive impact, whilst not forgetting our responsibility in ensuring higher standards of quality, environmental, safety and health in the workplace. We carefully consider the possible outcomes of projects from all aspects, both in the short term and the foreseeable future, to achieve a more sustainable future for all. Guided by sound principles and supported by stable finance, Nescon is well positioned to fulfill its promises for timely and outstanding project delivery. Our commitment to ethical business practices has earned us the trust of everyone we work with, as evidenced by our expanding portfolio of diverse projects of close working relationships with clients, regulatory agencies, as well as members of the public. And we will continue to carry out our business with the integrity as our principle, connecting and promoting the needs of our communities as our mandate, and the pursuit of excellence as our guide. By synergizing our diverse expertise and resources, we strive to create values for clients by constantly delivering desirable results with capable management, ample workforce, timely delivery, modern construction machinery and equipment, as well as sound management principles and stable financial standing. Collectively, these strengths will elevate Nescon in good stead to further excel in the construction and property sector and continue to aggressively pursue continuing growth, new horizons, and venturing into a more aggressive and fruitful participation in its business nature.
Holding true to our core values, we constantly improve our capabilities and challenge ourselves to adhere to rigorous standards of safety, reliability, and practicality. We deliver on our promises to our stakeholders from bottom up, and we develop our people to their full potential. Be part of our revolutionary journey as we expand our footprint and strengthen our position in the industry. We, Nescon, a partner of choice for construction.
Nescon, building integrity and connecting communities.
All right. So I think the later part of the video is not moving, only the audio is audible, right? So, but no worries. I think in a short while we will drop you the link for you to watch the corporate video. All right. So without further ado, may I introduce and welcome the Group Managing Director of Nescon, Dato Dr. Lim Jee Gin, to come to our webinar. All right, Dato, how are you?
I'm fine. Good evening to everyone who joined us this evening.
Sorry, I can barely hear you.
Good evening to everyone who managed to join us this evening.
All right. Yes, now you can be heard. All right. So I'll hand over the session to you, Dato.
Okay. for the presentation, I will introduce my team member Yasing to do the presentation on behalf of the company. Then later part, I will take on the Q&A sessions. Yasing, please go ahead with the corporate presentation.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dr. Lim. Good evening, everyone. I will take approximately about 30 minutes to run the presentation about tonight. Okay, good evening, everyone. We know some of you may have heard the presentation or did watch the webinar before, but today we try to bring you a number of new perspectives about this company. Shane, in the event if I lost my voice or the thing not moving, please alert me accordingly. I'll cover a number of topics between today. First, corporate overview. When you study the Nestcon Bhd, the company started with 2 subsidiaries. First one will be the Nestcon Infrastructure, Sdn Bhd. The second, Nestcon Bhd. They involve in like civil engineering infrastructure work as well as building construction work for building different kind of the high-rise building and low-rise building. But that was what you learn in prospectus. When you flip the annual report of this year 2022, you will see that another new company, new subsidiary incorporated under the group called Nescon Sustainable Solution. And this will be the title of today, Twin Engine of Growth. The company also venture and expand into the renewable energy activity and maintenance work. With this, the company have another 2 subsidiaries, N1 Solar and N2 Solar. I'll talk more about this later on. The company have a couple of directors. I will not go through one by one in view of the time saving. I will only focus on like today, we have Dr. Lim, is a managing director of the company. He is a person who co-founded this company with Mr. Ong, another ED. These 2 gentlemen established this company since 2010 and brought to where it is today, become a listed entity in 29 June 2021. Subsequently, we have a couple of directors. Today, we have Finance Director, CFO, Ms. Lim Jee Gin, a few independent directors, and also newly appointed another lady director on about December 2021. With this, the whole board not only comprise and fulfill with the listing requirement, but also fulfill the corporate governance requirement as well. Business overview. Since 2010, the company is registered G7 contractor under CIDB. When we say this G7, it means that the company able to undertake any construction job above 10 million or unlimited value. So with this, the company may completed about 29 construction projects worth close to about 981 million over the past until today, about 11 to 12 years. They've been completed the job for residential, commercial, industrial, mixed development. For civil engineering, you cover like earthwork, roadwork, bridge, drainage work. What has been changed compared with the IPO prospectus and annual report? The company start expand into another new engine of growth, renewable energy division. First, establish this company, Nestcon Sustainable Solutions Sdn Bhd, and established another 2, N1 Solar Sdn Bhd and N2 Solar Sdn Bhd. What the company want to venture is first, try to focus into solar renewable energy for the rooftop, especially for like commercial building, industrial building, but also explore if there's any opportunity to build like large-scale solar PV plant in the future. With this, the company incorporate 2 new subsidiaries under this Nescon Sustainable Solution. First one is N1 Solar, second one is N2 Solar. On the left, the company play the role as an EPCC contractor. EPCC stands for Engineering, Procurement, Construction, and Commissioning. It means you provide construction service in the event. If you are the building owner, you want to install a rooftop solar, please feel free to contact Nescon. We are here to provide service to you as a EPCC service provider. At the same time, on the right, the company also can play a role as a solar PV system and investment in the solar PV plant. It means that the company also can play a role as an asset owner in the event that you may feel that the rooftop system, you want to co-invest with the Nestcon Sustainable subsidiary. So with this, it plays a very flexible role to compete in this renewable energy division. The past record, I will not spend too much time to talk about past record, let's focus more on future. What we need to share with all the audience is since 2010, about 8 completed projects, 838 million, and civil work is about 21 contract completed, 144 million. Okay. More important is for all the investors like you and me, you will focus on like, based on 31st March 2022, what are the outstanding contract? So the outstanding contract value from the contract secure is about 1.5 billion. Unbilled outstanding contracts about 1.12 billion. It means that assuming the burn rate, it means that the revenue able to recognize by the company about 400 to 500 million every single financial year. The financial year of this company is 1st of January until 31st of December of every calendar year. So with about 400 to 500 million, it means that this outstanding order book can give the investor an earning visibility to recognize over the next 2 to 3 years. The second thing we will share with everyone is the type of the project secured by the company is not a single monotone. It will combination like high-rise residential building, mixed development, as well as commercial industrial building. Because subsequently, I will share with you, you need to diversify in order to cater with the up and down of the cycle, including in the property market. In terms of customer-wise, they are the projects secured by different customer group like low and low group, PRG, SM Group, Metaland, Nestcon Bhd, and so on. So with this, the company also try to not overly rely on any single largest customer. In fact, a risk management strategy practiced behind the scene. When we come to the civil engineering work, equally the same practice. Beside the earthwork secure for SM Group, the company also secures some rock stabilization group for SM Group from the East Coast Railway link, also earthwork from other railway projects in Johor and others. So in terms of variety, like mixed development, the job for infrastructure, rock stabilization work, the job for the railway. If we take a look, the contract value secured by the company up to date is about 881 million. And outstanding contract yet to recognize is about 377.7 million. Okay, we not only give you the original secure value, we also give you outstanding value yet to recognize, start by 1st April 2022, and the construction period, then easier for you to do your own number crunching. What will be the likely revenue and profit could be generated by the company. If we combine earlier about 1.12 billion of the building construction job, plus 377.7 million of civil engineering job, the outstanding contract value yet to recognize about 1.5 billion. If you take 500 million and multiple by 3, it means that at least the next 3 year earning visibility is able to be secured by the company. Moving forward, what are the tender? The tender up to date as 31st March 2022, about 33 tender, value about on total basis about 3 billion. 33%, about 34% focus on building construction, 66% focus on the civil engineering and infrastructure. Out of this, 1 billion of building construction comprise about 10 tender. It focus on like high-rise residential building, the bread and butter business of the company, the commercial unit, the shop houses, spatial purpose building like hotel, and hospital, and so on. And civil engineering take out more because you and me know very well. In order to stimulate the economy, the government have to spend more time for infrastructure. Therefore, the company also focus more to tender for infrastructure-related job, close to about 2 billion, consists of about 23 tender. It will be more focused on like government link project, like ground treatment, the highway, bridge and transportation infrastructure, the railway project. But last but not least, renewable energy project as well. Okay, the expansion plan. The company was listed on the June about 2021. On that time, the IPO proceed able to raise by the company is about 45 million cash. With the 45 million cash up to date, about 38 million of this spent. In the balance sheet, about 7 million is for IPO money. The money yet to spend will be like 6 million to establish the IBS facility. I'll explain what's IBS subsequently. Yet to spend 6 million. And upgrade the software and system 1 million, which is all in about 7 million. The rest of money, like you need to acquire the machinery, repayment, bank borrowing, the working capital, all already spent, as well as a distinct expenses, 4 million. Okay, establish of IBS facility. IBS stands for Industrial Building System. In the conventional way, when you go to see some of the high-rise, you can see that the worker had to lay the bridge layer by layer to build out the wall, to build out the different part of the building. Whereas by using the IBS system, you can like prefabricated the wall, the window, the floor, and even the bathroom and the staircase. When you bring on site, you can assemble and you can stack up one by one. So with this, the whole building process will be faster. What the company try to do here is by using the IBS, they want to produce like precast hollow core slab. This is mostly used for the flooring, for the parking podium. It can reduce the time by 40% compared with conventional. Prefab half slab used more for the tower block, and so prefab bathroom unit. So with the bathroom unit, you can prefab in on the offsite and you bring on site, you do all the assembly. So with this, not only can reduce the labor cost, labor reduction, but also reduce the delivery time. It will make the whole building process more sustainable. Oh, acquire all the machinery and I already explained earlier, money will be spent to buy all the necessary allocator, dump truck, and so on. Upgrade or software, the 1 million yet to spend. Okay. Now we come to the business of renewable energy. When you take a look on this photo, the sunlight is so bright. It means there's a lot of opportunity in the solar renewable energy business. When the company also expand into mini hydro, you see the water look like it's not the calm before the storm. The water emits a lot of money, a lot of potential. The company also try to venture into this mini hydro project, which I will elaborate more subsequently. Okay, the recent corporate development. The company was listed on the 29th of June. Actually, the big boss told him want to have a good sleep, but it can't. Because why? The next day morning, 30th June 2021, immediately had to wake up, quickly go and secure the new order. On the 30th June 2021, the company secured 230 million of new contract to develop service apartment in Selangor. About 2 weeks later, then they secure another 31 million contract to undertake the rock stabilization project at mixed development project in Damansara Perdana. So this is quite close to Empire City 1. On about a month, 2nd August, back another 25 million project for group work in Pontian. This is quite an important job because it's close to a petrochemical oil and gas sector. 19 August 2021, the company secured a Sungai Kelantan riverbank rehabilitation project, about 34 million. On 9th of June 2021, the company not only signed a strategic agreement with Hatton Land, another listed company on the Singapore Stock Exchange, one of the property developer in the city center of Malacca. The company formed a JV company, 3070, in order to jointly develop any solar renewable energy project can work together. And the first project, the both party negotiate is about the Palawan Mall. Palawan Mall is city center quite close to the A Famosa. On start by earlier this year, 12 January 2022, the company secured 90 million project in relation to East Coast Rail Link project. So East Coast Railway, 19th of January 2022, 188.5 million of project to build a mixed development project. Mixed development, normally you can see at the ground floor, you can have a retail law at the podium. Then on top is a service department. 1st of March, this is something very new. The company signed an MOU with M-Bank, and M-Bank Islamic Bank Group, and basically M-Bank Group, to expand solar renewable energy business. It means that in the event, the company able to convince some of the private enterprise, whether it's commercial building, industrial building, they say, okay, good, please help me to install the rooftop solar system. And the investment can cost a couple of few $100,000 to million or 10 to 20 million. With this, M-Bank will say, look, I will willing to lend and extend the financial facility in order to install. Or at the same time, they need to pay the construction cost. as an EPCC to the Nescon, and Nescon also can jointly invest with the owner. So all these things, you need a banker, and the banker here is MBank, willing to do the financing, and MBank also try to work with the Nescon and work together to say you access on the corporate customer of MBank. We know very well in business you need a law friend and you need banker as well in order to make the business a perfect match formula. 1st of April, proposed acquisition of in this one solar company, Central Solar Sdn Bhd. I'll explain it later. So whatever contract secured from here already included in the 31st March 2022, as I mentioned just now, all in outstanding contract is about 1.5 billion yet to recognize. Okay, this is a cut-off point, 31st March 2022. But moving forward, you will ask, hey, what are the new contracts you secure? Start by 1st of April. Start by 1st of April. The company secure contract again. Nestcon secure to design and complete the installation job. 31st May to do the job for the mini hydro project, Negri mini hydro project. 30th of June, the contract to build a service apartment. I'll go through it subsequently. 11th of May, this company secure a project for build and install the waste recovery facility at Kemaman, Terengganu. This project value is about 85 million, 36 months to complete. Okay. The second job secured subsequently will be in relation to the earthwork with this Negri hydro project. So with this, the company received a letter of intent, and the value of this job is about 91 million. This is show that the first time the company, beside doing the job for building construction, also officially moved into the mini hydro project. All the job had to start with one small step. The one small step will enable the company to explore and to open the door for the bigger opportunity in the future. Okay. On the 13th June 2022, secure a project to build 38-story for 670 units of residential apartment. This is an apartment job near this KL. Okay, the job value of this is close to about 118 million, and for about 28 months of building project. What we are trying to share with everyone, if you sum out the projects secured by the company, start by January of 2022 until today we are talking about almost end early of the July. The company already secured about 500 million of new contract. Earlier of the year, some investors will make the management this roughly how much new order can secure. The company give some sharing and guidance, say probably for the one whole year, it will be only about 400 to 500 million from January until December of 2022. But the actual result came out as performed beyond the expectation. It's already 500 million for the first 6 months. So hope that this momentum can continue and will bring more good development to all the investors and the shareholder as well. Okay, I will not go through this part. Okay, go to the financial performance. The financial performance of the company is the best performance 2019 before the pandemic. The pandemic for 2020 and 2021 is quite a tough market, yet the company able to maintain quite a good revenue, about 345 million in financial 2020 and 360 million of financial of 2021. The profit after tax was slightly lowered down from about 14 million lowered down to 12 million. The main reason of slightly lowered down a couple of reasons. The first reason is because the listing took place in about June 2021. There's a listing expense that we charge to profit and loss account. The second reason, if you do recall, FMCO happened in 2021. It's very tough. Not only all the non-essential service industry and the shop not able to open, including construction industry. So with this, the company not able to fully optimize to work for full 12 months. Therefore, the drop in profit is naturally. Okay. If this profit may do some adjustment, because in 2021, the first time the company listed on stock exchange, there's 2 million charged to the profit and loss account. If we add that the 2 million profit, then the profit is not 12 million, it should be about 14 million. The profit margin about 4%. Pertaining to this slide, we will provide to Kenaga, to the Shan Chu. You can request for him. We also will leave our message for you to extract the slide and get it from us. This will be the financial results you can get from annual report. I will not go through it. You can read on your own. This is an account we'd like to draw attention. If we would have added back the 2 million listing expenses, the profit reported will not be 12.8 million in the annual report 2022. It should be about 14.8 million. Profit before tax and profit after tax will be about 14 million, much higher. So with this, the profit margin will remain as good as in the past 2-3 years, from 2019 until 2021 financial year. Out of 4 million, the first 2 million already charged to the profit and loss account. The second 2 million is capitalized under the balance sheet, under the share listing expenses. So all in, the 4 million listing expenses already fully accounted for. Where does it show? Okay, let me show with you. This is the original announcement. They will show you. First quarter 2021 and second quarter 2022, we already fully charged the listing expenses. The other 2 million is charged and capitalized in the balance sheet. So moving forward, we demonstrate to all investors that there's no more listing expenses were affected and distorted the performance of the company. Start by third quarter of 2021 and 2022. Fourth quarter of 2021. The only thing that distorted is because FNCO. Because during the FNCO is very tough. We are talking about June, July, August, almost like September, only most of the people get back to the work with like 70% capacity, even full capacity. So therefore, that quarter you can see revenue is still there, but profit have slightly lowered down, not running a loss, it's at least a break even with about 1 million profit. When come to fourth quarter, strong rebound. Come to first quarter of 2022, slightly slowed down because it's normalized. One of the reasons is whatever outstanding job need to rush to complete in October, November, December. When come to first quarter of 2022, slightly cost increase because of the banking facility. There's some expenses, but also a short working month, especially during the Chinese New Year. So all in will be slightly slowed down at normalized patterns. What we need to urge all the investors is focus on year-to-year performance. It's not Q to Q. Q to Q, anyone business subject to certain volatility. Okay, I wanted to share with everyone is more important, the strategy of the company will be on this part. Early day, the company very focused on like the majority of the revenue generate from building construction, about 80%, then drop to 70%. Today, the building construction project is about 58%, about 60%, whereas 40% of the job used to be only 11% infrastructure, now grow to 25, grow to 41. About 40% of the job is from the this infrastructure. So the companies adopt a balanced approach in order to not only rely on any single segment, not only influenced by and distorted by another segment. When you study further, early day, most of the job is very much focused on residential. As the time progresses, now it's quite well balanced. Out of 60%, about 1/3 is focused on building the residential building, 1/3 is commercial industrial building, 1/3 is a mixed development. All these things, it takes time to transform. All this transform is not for yesterday. It will stand by to withstand the very difficult period in 2020 and 2021 during the pandemic period. If not adopt a very good risk management strategy, then probably it's quite tough to pull through this kind of difficult period. This is we put in number. Basically, for you to see is that 60% is building construction, 40% is infrastructure. Okay, this we just to show you that early day really focus very much on residential, blue in color. Now you will be like quite evenly spread between residential building, commercial industrial building, and mixed development. So all this is a series of risk management strategy adopted behind the scene. In the balance sheet wise, the company will have very strong current ratio. If we take a low historical until the latest balance sheet of 31st March, about 1.3 times, the company have a total bank borrowing. This short-term debt, total debt, we take in account also the leasing because of the equipment buy through the leasing. All is about 95 million. The cash in the bank account, the latest 127 million. 127 minus 95, the company in the net cash position about 32.3 million. If we take 95 divided by shareholder fund, the gearing ratio is about 74. But you take in account all the cash in the bank, actually the company in the net cash position. Cash flow wise, everything is quite all right, so I won't spend time to go through. The financing cash flow increased a lot is because of IPO money raised in the financial of 2021, 43 million net proceed raised. Therefore, the total cash increased about 52 million in financing cash inflow. Okay, shareholding spread. What we need to share with everyone is during the pre-IPO, there will be about 85% owned by two founders, Dr. Lim and Mr. Ong, about 85 and about 14. After the listing, 60% owned by the MD, Dr. Lim, and Mr. Ong, Yok Chuan, 10%. The 30% is a free float. Fast track to today, the latest annual report statistic for 31st March 2022, 60% and 10%, and the balance 30%. Okay, I leave this slide here for you to contact us in the event. If you need the presentation slide, please feel free to WhatsApp the number and also email to us. We will send the presentation slide to you accordingly. We are not going to run through every single slide, or in the total slide about 81 pages. So we are not going through every page, otherwise it will take too long time. In order to expand into this business, the company in 1st of April 2022 decided to acquire one EPCC engineering company to spend about 3 million to acquire this called the Central Solar Sdn Bhd. The 3 million to buy from the existing shareholder of Central Solar is not all paid in cash. The cash is about 1.18 million, and 1.88 million is cash, 1.12 million is issuing the new share under the subsidiary called Nestcon Sustainable Sdn Bhd. So with this, I will not go through all the detail. The more important is for investor like you say, oh, you buy this company, any good benefit you can gain. The vendor of this company say, okay, I'll give you a profit guarantee. For 31st December 2022, 2 million profit guarantee. Next year, 2 million, 2023. Next year, 31st December 2024, another 2 million. So cumulatively, by spending 3 million, the company will get about 6 million profit guarantee over the next 3 years. Okay, I will end this part of presentation. Please allow me to go through one small part, because this is not in the slide, is because the announcement just made on yesterday before today, flash from Owen, so I need to share this part. Please. This is about private placement of the new share. Shane, I will take another 5 more minutes to end. On yesterday, 13 July 2022, the company made an announcement to the stock exchange. Ever since the company raised about 45 million from the IPO, now company come to the capital market again to fully capitalize the benefit as a public listed company. The company intend to raise about 10% new share by wire private placement. At this moment, the company have about 643.8 million of total share. If 10%, the number of new shares going to issue is about 64.38 million, 10%. Okay, so that's number one. I will choose and pick the important thing in this announcement rather than go through everyone. The second question people ask, what will be the price? The price trading for the Nescon for the past few weeks or the past month, for the past 5 day weighted average is about 40 cents. In the event of the indicative, let's say give about 8.8% discount to the investor, then the new share will issue about 37 cents. So this 37 cents in the event you actually issue is much higher than the IPO price when the company raised in the June of 2021, which is 28 cents. So it means that the benefit of 50% higher, or even more than 50% higher than 28 cents. Who will be the person able to subscribe this share? This share is not going to place out to the existing shareholder, not going to existing director, the major shareholder, the CEO and the founder of the company. It means that it's not going to Dato' Lim, it's not going to Mr. Ong. It will be go to the third-party, independent, non-related investor. They can subscribe to new share. In short, the money is not called from shareholder, it's raised from the third-party investor who bring in the money to expand the business further. How much the money able to raise based on 37 cents? So the 64 million multiplied by 37 cents, you're going to raise about 23.82 million. The utilization is very, very fully focused on the expand the business further. First, for building and construction job, rental of machinery, spend 3 million, purchase of construction material, 10 million, payment to the subcontractor, 7.17 million, purchase of material for renewable energy segment, 3 million. So this 23.8 million will come in handy to further grow the expansion of the company moving forward. Okay. For the investor, the next question people always ask is like, okay, now I know you're going to issue 10% new share. How much more share I able to expect in order for me to calculate some earning per share, diluted earning per share. At this moment, 643 million plus 64.38. The total and last share capital going to trading in the market will be 708 million, assuming the issuing of 10% new share is going to complete in the second half of 2022. Okay, so with this, what will be the pro forma effect? Pro forma effect, it means that assuming based on 31st December 2021, this exercise is completed with 10% new share. What have changed? By issuing new share, the first thing is the share capital will be enhanced from 101 million ringgit will increase to 125 million ringgit. With this, the shareholder fund will increase from 127 million to about 150 million. In meanwhile, working on the 31st December 2021, the interest-bearing bank loan about 82 million. The gearing ratio is 65%. If this new share issue, the gearing ratio will reduce further. So with this, you can anticipate some cost saving from this issue and new share. At the same time, there is a temporarily earning per share dilution when there is a 10% new share issue. But bear in mind, all this money raised is for the expansion of the business moving forward. You will bring in additional earning to the company moving forward. I think with this, I try to end all my presentation sufficiently. Okay, Shen, over back to you for the Q&A section.
All right, thank you so much, Yap-Sing, for the presentation. So now I would like to invite Dr. Lim and also the CFO, Ms. Lim Jee Gin, to join us in this Q&A session. All right, so if you have any questions to ask the management of Nescon, you may write your question in the Q&A box, not the chat box here, in the Q&A box. All right, so the first question is, what is your comment on the generally investors may have an impression that Nescon business is overly reliant on Exim Group property developer as a single largest customer? How do you plan to deviate away the risk of over reliance on the single largest customer?
No doubt, Exim is one of our major clients.
Dato', can you speak closer to the microphone?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you better.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay, Exim is actually one of our major clients. However, we do not actually depend on Exim on our business continuity, as our contract with them are secured on a contract-by-contract basis. As of 30th June 2022, this year, 3 out of our 8 ongoing building projects come from Exim Groups. While we have only 2 out of our ongoing infra projects are from Exim Group. So in short, for the total 16 projects that we are currently having now, we secured from 9 different clients. Moreover, we have been actively participating in tenders from a large pool of our client base. Contribution from this client would come on stream in the second half of this year if we are successful in securing some of these contracts.
Okay, thank you so much, Dato, for your clarification. Now, the latest quarterly result shows that Nescon is at net cash position. But if we exclude those cash in your balance sheet, then the gross gearing ratio of Nescon is around 75%. So what would be the optimal capital structure going to adopt by the company in the future? Or what is the comfortable gearing ratio going to pursue by the company in both short and long term?
Actually, we do not fix any maximum gearing ratio for our company, as we wish to maintain the flexibility while we are expanding our business. If assuming that we have to build up more income assets for our renewable energy business, naturally our gearing ratio will move up in order to fund the long-term assets. So our company is still in the growing phase. I would say the best capital structure is the best mix of both debts and equity financing, like what we have raised from our IPO exercise.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Lim, for answering these questions. Can you give us a general industry outlook for your industry, construction industry in this year? Now, since Nescon focus on bidding for more infrastructure related job moving forward, as shown in your tender book, beside bidding for building construction job, so what would be the new order book replenishment likely to achieve by Nescon in this year?
In a longer term, we are optimistic on the construction industry despite the short-term headwinds. According to the market research by Protégé Associates, the domestic construction is set to grow at a 7.3% CAGR to a market size of close to 76 billion in 2025. To me, the construction industry is set to rebound and grow, attributable to the various stimulus package from the government as a result of the continuity of the infrastructure projects such as ECRL, East Coast Railway Link, even for the Johor Bahru Singapore Rapid Transit System, and the Penn Borneo Highway, as well as the Central Spine Road. As for MRT3, notice of tender was issued early of last month. On a longer term, we also hope this KL Singapore High Speed Rail will be given green light to implement. I would say probably after the GE15, which is likely to happen within the next 6 months. Of course, recently we all know the Malaysian and the Thai government has also established a joint committee to explore the high-speed rail connection between the Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur. So there will be opportunity along the way for us to be one of the project participants. Considering our past involvement in the railway-based infra job, such as this electrified double track project from Gemas to Johor Bahru and also ECRL. With regards to the new order book replenishment likely to achieve by Nescon this year. So as we mentioned, as mentioned by Yasing earlier, so for the first half of this year, we have managed to secure 500 million worth of job. For the second half, we are actually expecting the letter award for Nangri Dam, which we have received the letter intent on 30th May. We have also submitted tenders for these mini hydro dams, even for ECRL and in some infrastructure project in Sarawak. So let's hope we will secure more contracts in the second half of this year.
All right, certainly hope so. Okay, the next question is, now recently Nescon has signed an MOU with MBank, MBank Banking Group, in order for the banking group to provide the necessary financing to support your initiative to expand in solar renewable energy business as an asset owner. So could you please update us so far? How is the response amongst the MBank Banking Group corporate clients? Do you have any good news you would like to share with us?
This initiative with MBank represents a breakthrough in our ambition to expand into this renewable solar energy business. Through this collaboration, we'll be able to provide MBank non-individual customer direct access to green energy. At the same time, this marks a step forward in realizing our joint vision to create a world generated by renewable energy and to create a green living and working environment in Malaysia. With regards to a response, it has been so far quite promising because MBanks will only refer to us on those so-called non-individual customers that have positive interest in adoption of the renewable energy in this electricity generation. So far, very promising.
All right, that's good to hear that. Okay, let's go to the next question. Now, on the 1st April this year, you announced that your company is going to acquire 100% stake in Central Solar, which is an EPCC contractor and project management company, for 3 million. So it's interesting to discover that the vendors of Central Solar are agreeable to provide a profit guarantee of cumulative 6 million over the next 3 financial years on you, just for 3 million selling price. Is that Central Solar already secured a few hundred million contract which enable them to provide such a high profit guarantee to Nescon? If no, what exactly is Nescon buying into by spending 3 million?
Central Solar is currently known as Nestcon Solar. Actually, we have some proposal in hand which we are unable to disclose further information at this point of time. We will make necessary announcement if there is any further development. Acquiring Central Solar is part of our expansion plan into renewable energy business. As we foresee securing energy sustainability is essential for Malaysia, and this is in line with our government objective to rely more on renewable energy as one of the environmental friendly electricity source, and to reduce the carbon footprint due to the threat of climate change. Many policies has been implemented to develop and promote the use of RE.
All right. So how does Nescon Solar compete in this crowded marketplace as more and more EPCC contractors and asset owners come on board in the past few years? What are your competitive edge?
In any businesses, I think competition is not, we cannot avoid competition. Compared to our competitors or peers, I must say our competitive advantage lies in our extensive experience in construction industry and also our existing customer base. This is because most of our current existing clients are real estate development companies, and we are assisting them in the construction of various types of residential, commercial, and even industrial properties. We have planned to submit our proposal for solar PV rooftop system to our clients, especially our current construction contract with them, as well as our future project. Considering our business relationship that we have established with them, I think we have a better edge. Also, we have established a good working relationship with the financial institution through our existing construction businesses. This will, in a way, give us some advantage of getting the financial support from the banks in our renewable energy business. While it is apparent that solar energy has got a strong growth prospect, there's actually a big gap between what would appear to be the market potential and the actual achievement. The growth of the sector has been quite slow in relation to its potential. I would say probably due to the dysfunction structure of the industry at present. One of the potential problem causing this slow progress could be the financing being not easy to obtain. And this mismatch between the needs and the building owners and the structure of the financing scheme. You see, our collaboration with the M-Bank will address all these constraints.
All right, thank you so much, Dato. Now, the next question is, the company is tendering for 3 billion job. So what is the success rate and how much worth of the job Nescon is eyeing to win this year?
You see, we have secured 500 million in the first half of this year. Actually, our tender success rate is in the range of 15 to 20%. So based on our tender books that stand at 3 billion, actually, in a way, we have, in the first half, we have managed to hit our target already. But we are still optimistic that we will secure some of the contracts that we are currently tendering. We are currently tendering for this mini hydro project, even some infrastructure jobs at Sarawak. And of course, we have been actively participating in the tenders on this ECRL. We will definitely secure more than 500 million this year.
Okay, so do you mind to share with us how much of your order book will be recognized in this year?
This year will be around 300 million. 300 million.
300 million.
Yep.
Now, we know that this is, a very highly inflationary environment. So is Nescon facing any margin compression? What is the potential margin compression for this year if you are facing any?
I must say that we feel the pressure. You see, it is true that the raw material, so-called the price of the raw material has gone up, and we feel the pressure. But there is indication that the price is coming down. Of course, we are quite lucky in the sense that based on our unbilled order book of 1.6 billion, close to 1.2 billion, we have this VOP clause, which we can claim for this fluctuation of this. We can ask for compensation for fluctuation. For those without the VOP clause, which is approximately 400 million, the worst scenario, I would say the impact will be in the range of 2 to 3% of the margin compression. That is the worst scenario.
Worst scenario, 2 to 3%.
Yep.
Okay, not too bad. Okay, I'm not sure if you have addressed this question adequately, but the next question is, do you mind to share with us more detail of your grand plan in the RE segment?
Oh, okay. We have been actively exploring these market opportunities. But of course, I can say solar and these are mini hydro. But then I cannot disclose more information here. We will make the necessary announcement if there's further development.
Okay, understand your concern. Do you have skilled workers shortage problem since the labor shortage is ravaging across the country?
Yep, like most construction companies, we are dependent on foreign workers. A shortage of foreign workers is one of the biggest challenges faced by all the industry players. It is not within construction industry, I say all the industry in Malaysia, we are facing this labor shortage. We are urging our government to resolve this labor issue quickly. But of course, we are moving forward. We are looking at ways to reduce the dependency on the foreign workers. That's why we plan to establish the IBS facility, which is less labor intensive. Foreign workers are actually now very demanding. They are asking salary from 4,000 to 5,000. So we, of course, we are in a sense quite lucky that we have obtained the approval for the government to import 820 foreign laborers. We are now preparing to pay the levy. Hopefully, in a month or two, we can get all these foreign workers to come in to support our existing job.
What's the breakdown of your labor force composition? How many % are from foreign laborers and where are they from?
Foreign laborers contribute up to, I think, 70% of our total workforce.
70%?
Yep.
Mainly from Bangladesh?
Now mainly is Bangladesh, Indonesia, but mainly is Bangladesh.
Okay, so will the foreign labor shortage affect your delivery?
Yes, that's why actually we are currently operating at 70% of our capacity. As you see, before the pandemic, our revenue is actually 400 million. In 2019, our revenue was 422 million. But during the pandemic and during this point of time, we have the so-called labor shortage. Our revenue drops to 300 million. So that's the reason size we are actually operating at 70% of our capacity.
Yeah, I think the weakening of Malaysian ringgit also exacerbate the situation.
Yep.
So what is the dividend payout 3 years prior to the IPO? And what is the payout as a percentage of profit?
Okay, let me take this question.
Yes, go ahead.
So in 2020, we didn't declare any dividend. In 2018, yes, and in 2019, yes, about 2 million each for each of the year is about 14% for 2019 out of the profit, the percentage, and for 2018 is about 20% of the profit. So we didn't declare on in 2020, and also we didn't declare in 2021. Moving forward, of course, we wish to declare. It all depends on our cash flow position and also the requirement of all the capex and our business expanding purpose.
Okay, understand that. Thanks, Ms. Lim. Continuing on this labor shortage issue, Terry would like to ask, how many more workers do you need to reach optimal level? Also, Dr. Lim, you mentioned about the rise in raw materials and building material costs. How much is the quantum it has risen so far, and what is the expectation for the second half?
That's why we have actually got to justify the requirement before the authority can approve our numbers. That's why 800 packs is sufficient cover the current shortage.
800 packs.
800. That's why we got the approval of 820.
All right. I think Yap Seng need to show some slide, right? And yeah, would you want to explain about this, the steel price?
Okay. For the steel price, you see based on the lending indicators from US and also the industrial metals markets, it shows early sign of easing. The price has actually come down. The steel bar price has gone up from 2004 to 3008, but now we are only purchasing at about 3000 to 3002. You can see the price has actually come down. Regarding the, I want to clarify on the usage of the steel. So the usage of the steel actually very much depending on the completion stage of a project. You see, we have so currently we have 8 ongoing projects. So all these ongoing projects are actually at different stages of completion. So as a result, some would require lesser amount of steel. You see, let's say we are at the structural stage. Okay, the amount of steel and cement will be more. But when you come to architectural stage, so they won't impact us. Furthermore, we Nescon, we have a diversified portfolio between the infrastructure and building segment. Has actually further reduced the impact to the group as a whole. As I mentioned earlier, based on our undue order book of 1.6 billion, 1.2 billion we have is a VOP clause, which we can nego with the client for compensation due to the price fluctuation. For those projects without the VOP clause, variation of price, why just now I say the impact the impact will be 2 to 3%. Actually, we have worked out, we have some figure to work out. So for a high-rise projects, say 600 units, the size is like say average 900 square feet per unit. The construction cost is approximately, I would say, about 150 million. So the amount of steel required to complete the whole so-called apartment is in the range of 3,000 to 4,000 tons. Assuming the average, the steel price increased by 1,000 per ton throughout the whole contract duration, 1,000, if let's say you say average 3,005 tons, so 1,000 times 3,005 is 3.5 million. Then in terms of concrete, so if let's say we have 3,500 tons of steel, the amount of concrete will be about 35,000. Let's say the concrete increased by 20 ringgit per meter cube, so 350,000. 35,000 meter cube times 20 ringgit is about so-called says 20 ringgit is about 600,000 So the whole impact will be 4 million So 3.5 million, 600,000, 4.1 million, 4.1 million against this 150 million. The impact will be 2 to 3%. The impact in terms of monetary value.
Okay, thank you so much, Dato'. The next question is, would you venture into construction or renewable projects overseas? So this by Ko Yi.
Not this point of time. We still focus in Malaysia, probably Sabah, Sarawak, but not overseas.
All right. So the next question is, since the company has surpassed annual order book win target, is there a revised or new target for the year?
Yes, I must. For the second half of this year, I think we can easily secure another 2 to 3 contracts easily. So this year itself, we might be able to secure a total new order of 800 million, 900 million, because we already secured 500 million.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Lim. Now, the next question is there a concern that the inflation will bring a slower market in property and construction? And how do you plan to move in this challenging time?
As I mentioned, on the longer term, we are still optimistic on the construction industry.
Optimistic lah.
Yep.
Okay. So the next question is, how do you plan to mitigate the shortage of labor foreseen, especially from Indonesia government suspending migrant workers to Malaysia?
I think this will be sorted out soon.
Because
you see, for us, actually, we don't actually depend on, we don't depend much on Indonesia workers anymore, because the cost of getting the Indonesian workers to come in is much higher compared to the Bangla, even the salary, because the economy in Indonesia, I must say, is better than Malaysia now. So I would say they can make more money in Indonesia rather than in Malaysia. That's why we cannot afford to pay them. Those Indonesian workers that we need is actually highly skillful workers, which we need them to guide the Bangladeshi worker. So says we have we call them a kepala. They will guide 30 workers, 20 workers. So we are still depending on Bangla rather than Indonesian.
Okay. Understand. The next question is, how is your venture into Sarawak?
Oh, Sarawak. Be patient. Be patient.
Be patient, okay?
Just be patient. I cannot disclose more information now. Just be patient for another 2 months.
Okay, be patient.
Be patient.
Okay, the next question is by Chi Kyong. Can you share with us, are the steel and cement purchased by your subcontractors or by your company itself? And is the foreign labor Nescon own labor or your subcontractors' labor? Did you have a VOP clause with your subcontractor?
So for the steel and cement, we will purchase on our own. It is not through subcons. Of course, we have sub labors, but the material is solely purchased by us. As for the foreign labors, we have our own labors, and some of trade we actually subletting to subcontractors. But as for the VOP clause, of course, some of the, depending on the contract, that's why you see a lot of depending on the contract some we have a VOP clause, and some we, even with the VOP clause, sometimes subcontractors, we understand them. If let's say the price increased by too much, they cannot make a living from our subcontract, they will definitely they cannot continue with us. So we got to talk to them on how to give them a compensation, so that to ensure they continue the job.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lim. So, Dato, what is your biggest fear in this Nescon business? Can you share with us?
Biggest fear.
Like what keeps you awake at night?
No, we have no fear. We work very hard. We work day and night.
Okay.
We
Fearless,
keep
huh?
moving. Yes.
All right. Understand. Okay, looks like there are no more questions on my questions panel. So yeah, I think we have done all questions. Thank you so much, Dato Lim and also Miss Lim for addressing all the attendees' questions on during this Q&A session. So of course, if you want the slide, you may reach out to Yap Seng to obtain the slide. Yeah. Okay. Yap Seng. Okay. Yap Seng, yeah, I think it's the share, is it?
No. Okay. Probably can you put me back? I just do a short conclusion.
Yeah, please go ahead.
We come to the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for joining today's event. Before we get Dato Lim to give a closing speech, for those investors and shareholders who follow the Nescon since the listing day, you always remember this is a building construction and infrastructure company. But bear in mind, with the twin growth engine come forward, renewable energy not only focus on solar PV rooftop system alone, but also focus on mini hydro. All this will become intended. The idea for them to come on board is not only they come as a two-in-one service provider to their end client, should it be the property developer, a real estate company, or building construction, this industrial building owner, but they will come as a three-in-one. If they can start with a work complete, after that, they build the building on the ground. On top of the building, should it be factory, should it be high-rise building, they build the rooftop solar system and either jointly owned with the asset owner, or they will serve as the EPCC service provider to the building owner. All this come in collective basis. This integrated model will increase the competitiveness in tandem with what they are trying to do moving forward. Nobody can receive the change, but the company who change will be last forever. That's where Nescon itself, it allows us to do a bit of marketing. Nescon, it means next construction company you should look for. So back to you, Shen.
All right, thank you so much, Yap Seng, for giving us a concluding statement. All right, so thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to this webinar brought to you by Cantrade. So our next Cantrade webinar is titled 通膨当道，绝处逢生, inflation posing challenges but opportunities beckon. All right, so this session will be conducted in Mandarin. That will take place on next Thursday, 21st of July, 2022. We'll talk about how do we, how do we navigate in this next quarter amid a rising inflationary environment. So the senior analyst from Kenanga will share with us where are the opportunities to look out for in the next quarter. All right, so I've given you the registration link. You may go ahead and register if you want to hear what the senior analyst from Kenanga, Mr. Tay, to talk about this session in Mandarin. All right, so if you haven't had a Kenanga share trading account, you may fill up this form, this online form, which is www.cantrade.com.my/open-account-form. So if once you key in your interest here, Kenanga will arrange a friendly dealer representative to cater to your needs to open a trading account with them. So if you want to get trading ideas, you may join Kenanga Trade to Win Telegram channel. So that's where you can get trading ideas on where is the TP, where is the stop loss, what kind of stocks have momentum. So yes, you may join this Kenanga Trade to Win Telegram channel, which I've also given you in the chat box. All right, so thank you everybody for tuning in today's Cantrade webinar. Hope you have gained enormous value from this session, learning about Nescon business as well as the growth prospect. So thank you so much to both our panelists, three of our panelists, which are Dr. Lim, who is the Group Managing Director of Nescon, Ms. Lim, who is the Chief Financial Officer of Nescon, as well as Mr. Tan Yap Seng, who is the IR representative of Nescon. With that, thank you everybody and have a great rest of the day. Bye everyone.
Yeah,
See
good
you
night.
on next
Bye.
Thursday.
See you soon.